Hey guys, what's going on? My hair is down. I know this is a very rare occasion, but my friend just did my hair. She's a very talented hairstylist. I'll leave her info down below if you are in the Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin area, but I thought I would leave it down for a tutorial for once. So hello, if you are new here, my name is BrittanyNichole. I have hooded eyes and I tend to do a lot of hooded eyeshadow tutorials like this one. Today we are going in with the Colourpop Sweet Talk palette. If you are on YouTube, I'm sure you've heard a lot about this palette. At first, I didn't buy it because I was like, all right, I don't need another peachy, pinky kind of eyeshadow, but holy cow, am I glad so many people posted videos on this and I finally bought it because it is stunning. We are doing this eye look here today. This is intense for me. If you guys know me, I tend to do like one color, two color, which this is, I think, only 3 colors, so it's not meh for, it's not anything too intense, but it's definitely a full glam look for me. Might not be for you, might be super neutral for you, but this is definitely full glam for me and I am living for it. The formula of Colourpop never disappoints. They have probably my favorite eyeshadow formula that's affordable on the planet, and we live in a world of a ton of makeup right now. So if you guys were thinking about getting this palette, it is so worth it. I also picked up a couple of their blushes from this collection, which I'm obsessed with, and a lipstick, which I am loving. But today we are going to go through this eyeshadow tutorial. Of course, it's very simple, it's very achievable, and it's beginner friendly. I try to keep all of my tutorials like that for anybody and everybody who is interested in achieving a look like this. And of course, I have hooded eyes, so I got you if you have hooded eyes. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this beautiful nudie, peachy, glittery look right here, go ahead and keep watching. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take my Wet n Wild P20 brush, whatever fluffy blending brush you have will work, and I'm gonna dip into West Side and Work It. First into Work It, which is a little more peachy, and then West Side, which is a little more neutral. I'm gonna kind of tap off the excess and I'm gonna start to form this shape. Now, like I said in the beginning, this is definitely a heavier look, more intense, more glam. So we're bringing this up quite a bit higher than our natural crease. If I'm not lifting my eyes, it's so like hard to not do them, but if I'm not lifting my eyes, you could still see the color peek through, and that's because I brought it up very high. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye. I'm following my orbital bone, which is where my eye naturally kind of dips in rather than my natural crease, and I'm bringing this all the way in to where my nose contours. This is just gonna make my eyes look a lot bigger than they normally are, and when I'm going for a more of a glam look, I like to do this. All right, so switching to a Smith 230, which is a little more precise. Again, going into West Side and Work It, I'm going to kind of bring that down so I can form the outer corner, feather it in. And then while I'm here, I'm gonna take a pencil brush. This is a very old crown brush. Same colors once again, and I'm gonna start to work that under the eye. All right, so then dipping into Feel Free, which is the darkest shade in the palette, I'm gonna start to kind of build out that outer corner and darken the area. So I like to apply the first stroke closest to the lash line. I'm gonna kind of build this into an outer V. So I kind of feather it down and into the lash line, and then as I get closer to the outer corner, following my lower lash line, I'm gonna start to lift it. And then I feather in like that as I go. And I do want to slowly take that all the way out. And then you can go ahead and take whatever fluffy brush you have as well and blend. Again, dipping into Feel Free, I'm just going to kind of use that to blend this out. My eye is starting to water, I can feel it. Lovely. And then when I have really minimal pigment, almost no pigment left on the brush, I'm gonna very lightly, so I'm holding at the end of the tip of my brush so that I don't apply a lot, and I'm really lightly just gliding to just transition that color seamlessly towards the inner. And you could just see by applying it where my orbital bone is, how large that makes my eyes look when I look down. That's really my eyelid area. I have a ton of eyelid area. I just have hooded eyes so you can't see it. While I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and take an angled brush. This is a MAC 208, sticking with Feel Free. I'm gonna work that on the lower lash line, pushing upwards. And then after I apply that under the eye, I'm just taking West Side, which is the darker, more neutral brown. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that to blend. And I know this looks super stark right now, but once we get lashes and liner on, it'll all come together. So again, Feel Free. Just gonna work that a little bit more. And I always kind of just step back for a second and see what I need. So I think I need to take a little more of West Side and bring that back into the crease area. And then I'm taking just a little bit of Work It. This is all the same brush, by the way. Work that a little more in this area. All right, cool. I'm happy with that for now. So now we're gonna go into Melody, which is kind of a peachy pink shift shade. And first I'm gonna take that just on my finger. I'm gonna use my ring finger and I'm gonna kind of apply that. I'm trying to use this as a mirror. There's no mirror there. I'm gonna apply that on the area where I don't have any shadow. So I purposely avoided this area of my lid because I want to apply this with no base. So I'm just gonna kind of press that onto the lid. This is such a beautiful shade. They have one of their Super Shock shadows that looks just like this and would be an awesome base if you wanted to use a base. I just didn't on this side, so I'm not doing it on this side. I'm gonna blend that right into Feel Free and up into Work It and West Side. I just find when you use your finger, the natural oils of your finger kind of effortlessly blend it, but we are going in with some more glitter here. But see how like effortless that is? It's almost perfectly blended. I love that, but I am gonna take that Wet n Wild brush and just run along the edges here real quick. And then taking a synthetic brush, this is a MAC 195. I'm going to spray that with you can use whatever you have, water, setting spray, whatever. This is something that won't work though. That is a primer. I'm gonna take my Catrice Multi-Fixant setting spray, and first I'm gonna dip into, oh man, I can't remember what I did. I think I actually, before we do that, I think I dipped into Early Morning, which is just a very kind of shimmery gold shade. And I think I first kind of just touched a little bit on the eye with that. I love Colourpop glitters because I really get minimal fallout with them, which is awesome. So I did that first very lightly with just my finger, and then I took, what is this called? Side to Side. I'm getting old, I can't see, wow. And I'm dipping my 195 in that. It's kind of like a putty shade, it's really cool. And then I'm spraying my brush, and then I always just kind of rub a little bit on the back of my hand to make sure it's not too intense. And then I'm gonna just pat right over those two shadows that we've already applied. Bringing that right into the inner corner as well. It's so pretty. This whole palette is just gorgeous. Add a little bit more to the other side as well. Beautiful. And then I'm just gonna blend those edges once again, very lightly. And then I'm gonna touch up Feel Free a little bit because I want a little heavier on here. Once I put my lashes on, I might add a little bit more as well. I always find when I have an intense lash, once I put lashes on, I might apply a little bit more of my darker shade just because it adds some intensity. But I do think I'm gonna bring this in a little bit more Alright, so I'm happy with that for now. We'll probably blend the outer corner a little bit more and add a little more pigment, like I said, when we have the lashes on. So I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to do a winged liner like I have on this side. Very, very small winged liner. I'm using my Kat Von D Hemingway liquid liner. Loving that stuff lately. I'm going to apply a black Physicians Formula gel liner to my upper waterline, and then my Rimmel Nude to the lower waterline. And then, of course, a couple coats of mascara, and I will be right back here for finishing touches. Alright, you guys, lashes are on, and this is the completed look. I absolutely love this. I expected nothing less from Colourpop. Their formula for eyeshadow is beautiful. I have yet to find a palette from them that I don't like, and they're so affordable. If you can pick up the Sweet Talk palette, I highly recommend it. I wasn't gonna buy it because I actually have a palette kind of similar, but I saw so many people playing with it here on YouTube and I had to get it. So highly recommend. I know this is a glam look for me. I'm not typically one who wears a ton of eyeshadow. Now this might be a natural look for some of you. For me, this is a lot, but it came together so beautifully. They blended perfectly and I love it. I can see myself grabbing for this over and over again, not only in summer or spring, but in winter as well. These are definitely tones that I love, and the glitters especially perform so well. Very minimal fallout, which is really rare for something that looks like pressed glitters. So Colourpop, you nailed it. You guys get this palette if you can get your hands on it. I think it's around $18. I'll list everything down below, but I did want to mention I also picked up from this collection their Super Shock Cheeks. One is in No Vacancy, which is a very bright, it looks a little more dull on camera, but in real life this is very bright. But once you get it on the skin, it's very wearable. And then I also picked up Count Me In, which is more of kind of a, you know, like a neutral, it has a little bit of coral, a little bit, it's like a mauve shade. That's what I'm trying to get out here. And this is what I have on my cheeks. I used this with a regular MAC 135. I'm pretty sure that's what this is called. And I just want to add a little bit to show you. So it's like a, you know, their typical Super Shock formula, kind of like cream to powder. So let me just add a little here to show you. Look how pretty that is. I am obsessed with these. I'm going to place another order to order the rest of these because that's how much I love them. Just going to add a little to this side to even these out. Ugh, so pretty. I absolutely love it. And then I also picked up, I wanted to mention, one of the lipsticks from this collection. This is Spring Roll. So it's kind of like a nudie pink. So it doesn't go so well with this look. I have a little bit more of a pinky nude. This was a little too pink when I put it on, but the formula is gorgeous. Like, look at that on the back of my hand. I'm going to be buying a lot more of their lipsticks as well. This is the first time I've tried one of their lipsticks. I didn't love their liquid matte lipsticks. I'm just not a matte lipstick person in general, so I'm going to add a little bit of Madeline on top of this. This is a NYX gloss. Under that, I have the Wet n Wild 920A Bare It All. Again, a little pink. I couldn't find like a, I've been using, you know what would be perfect actually? Let me throw on my Revlon Peach Me lipstick real quick and then I'll be right back. Actually, I'm gonna grab Smoked Peach, again, Revlon. These are like my go-to peachy shades, so let me just show you what this looks like. Little brighter than what I want, so let me grab Peach Me, what I was talking about, and just add a little bit of that on top. Still a little too bright for what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna take Madeline, which does kind of give a little bit of the pinky effect, but it'll tone it down. Yeah, I'm a little happier with that. I think it's a little more on the peachy side now. A nude would work with this as well. I'm just kind of grabbing my favorites. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this one, you guys. So happy I picked up this collection. Love the blushes. I'm going to be wearing these in a lot more tutorials coming up. And again, like I said, I'm going to be buying more of these. I have to try more of their lipsticks as well. I was super impressed with this. Really comfortable. A little more on the matte side. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little here because why not? I've got like 18 lipsticks on my lips already. And then, like I said, this Sweet Talk palette, I mean, just the packaging alone is so pretty. I really, really like this collection. So I hope you found this video helpful. As always, if you guys have any questions, please let me know below. I try to read and respond to each and every one of them. Otherwise, if you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, I post every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central and every Sunday at 12 noon Central. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.